up, it's Friday. Happy Climate Week, you made it. We're here, it's Friday. Thank you all for being here. My name is Dani Nierenberg, and I am president and co-founder of Food Tank. For those of you who don't know, Food Tank is a research and advocacy organization really devoted to highlighting stories of hope and success in our food and agriculture systems. We do this with the aim to inspire, motivate, and ultimately activate positive transformation in how we produce and consume food. And that's why I'm so excited to be here today to talk about how we can regenerate our soils and really improve the world. Soil health, as you all know, is the basis of global food and nutrition security, and it holds the key to climate resilience. Healthy soils sequester carbon and retain more water. They help crops withstand extreme and more severe weather events. They produce food that is more nutrient dense. But as my friend Siglin Snap, who is one of the premier soil scientists in the world, says, under our feet all the time, soils are degrading. And UNESCO recently warned that 90% of the planet's land surface could be degraded by 2050. But if we embrace regenerative agriculture practices, and if we remember that there is no one-size-fits-all approach, we can find the right combination of tools and practices and innovation in people that can help improve our land. I am excited to be with you all today. I want to thank Arva and Jay McEntire for making this possible, Olivia Weil and Nora Shanti from Arva. Give them a round of applause. Thanks to Kiss the Ground, Evan Harrison, Nathan Rice, and Jackie Peller. Give them a round of applause. This space we're in is very special. WNYC and their staff are just the most amazing people in the world. Give them a round of applause. And our culinary partner, Great Performances, has made sure that we are all nourished and eating delicious food all week. So give them a round of applause. I also want to tell you that my co-founder and I, Bernie Pollock, he did something really incredible this year. We decided to really integrate the arts more closely with everything we're doing. And we brought together, in addition to wonderful speakers who are experts in food and agriculture, a ton of performers who are the biggest stars on Broadway, to make sure that we see that there is hope, right? Artists always give us hope. And so we've had these wonderful musical performances. We're going to have a night of farmer storytelling, and just making sure that we integrate the arts with everything we do. That's what's going to give us hope. That's what's going to make us more resilient to everything that's happening. I want to get a little housekeeping out of the way. Today's discussions and panels are meant to be very fast-paced and dynamic. If I cut someone short or if I drag a speaker off the stage, it's happened before, please forgive me later. We just want to hear from everyone and make sure that this is a really collaborative kind of event. Whether you're in the room or watching online, and thank you for tuning in online, please use the hashtag ClimateWeekNYC. And you can also email me at Danielle@foodtank.com. I'm not checking my email, but Bernie is. So now I'm excited to turn to our first conversation. We're going to set the stage for why we're all here. So I get to introduce Evan Harrison, the CEO of Kiss the Ground. Another round of applause, please. And Jay McEntire, the CEO of Arva. So this is for you both. It's clear that regenerative practices work, that they're good for farmers, and they're good for us as eaters. But how do we make the economic case? Which one of you wants to go first?
That's an easy one. We need to empower the farmers. Our policy, and forever and a day for most governments, is to reward cheap calories, right? We have cheap calories. We produce a lot of grains. We can export those. It's good for international policy. It's good for consumers. So we're optimized in our systems to produce cheap calories. It works. My farm is 1.5% organic matter until we took over, started doing regenerative practices. My co-founder's 15 miles away at 6%. It's about 70 tons of carbon. So we know its potential. So what we've been able to catalyze with some of the people in this room, some of our clients and some of our channel partners, I'm so glad to have them here, and you guys can engage with them to find out more. But we've been able to, our theory of change is to reward farmers to do good practices and to get more involved in its working amazingly. So what we've been able to do is create value through the value chain, the farm supply chain. And through the end of this year, we'll have paid out more than $100 million to farmers over the last 3 years. And so that's really material to farmer incomes. If you don't know, this year will be the worst year for farmers in 50 years. So income from doing both the environmental best thing as well as the data that we're collecting to optimize agronomy is driving impact materially. We're giving back to the communities, we're impacting the communities, and showing a different pathway from cheap calories. We're really good at this country at doing things at scale. And now we need to start thinking about how we do this at scale to give farmers that optionality to be able to be a supplier of environmental benefits and healthier food and on. And then Evan will tell you all about the details on how to get the farmer and the story.
Thanks, Jay. Evan, what are your thoughts?
First of all, I love bringing entertainment into this conversation space. Inspirational, coming from a place of happy and inspirational is how we solve big problems. And while Danny, you started off by sharing you all know about soil being the root of all these issues we're talking about, most people don't. So only 7% of the US adult population is aware of the term regenerative agriculture and can answer what it is on a multiple choice test. We gave a test, and it was a third-party survey. And interestingly, 74% of those polled want to purchase food that makes them healthy. And climate is a slightly different conversation. Fewer people feel that that's their issue to solve, but it's okay because healthy soil will help us solve both planetary and human health issues. So our focus is on getting that 7%, which, by the way, 18 months ago was only 4% awareness, through telling inspirational stories every day, and stories of all sizes. Instagram reels to 10-minute mini documentaries, being present every day as a voice of the farmer, telling heroic stories of farmers. And just as Emily came up here and I think impressed us all with an amazing musical performance, farmers are really the rock stars of the work we do at Kiss the Ground right now. And we amplify their stories every single day, all with the singular purpose to inspire people to think about where the source of their food is coming from. And there's a big gap there. So I mentioned 74% want to buy something healthy, yet only 50% read food labels, and more than half don't understand what those food labels are saying. Yet 88% look at labels like natural and fresh and say, oh, okay, I'll buy that because that'll make me healthier. Unregulated terms. So education through inspirational storytelling is really the focus.
Thanks so much, Evan. Farmers are heroes, and we'll hear more about that today. I'd love to hear from you both in the minute and a half we have left, that what you're excited about. What are you most looking forward to today? Evan, go first.
Okay. You are going to hear from some amazing farmers. Rick Brown, who you'll hear from later, is, hearing directly from the source, I think is the most inspirational way to really carry a message through.
I'm trying to get Rick to come down to Arkansas to manage my farm, actually. So, no, this is going to be just being here in the room, learning about this. When I asked on Wednesday how many people had heard of Regenerative, to Evan's point, only a few have. It's important. It's important for the brands to know that their investment in regenerative and resilient supply chains is something that you recognize, that you want to make sure is there. And so I'm really excited for you to hear from those brands today that'll be here and help us talk and amplify that story. So.